Welcome guys, my name's Jack, like I said over the other side, and I've been here working in the discipline for about 8 months. Exactly the same time me and Jamie both started together. I guess old heads because we're only here for 12 months at a time on the programme that we are on. So yeah, sadly only 4 months left, but we're very excited to be given the opportunity to kind of run the tours throughout the Flower and Garden Festival. The tour itself, it's going to last about, they say 45 minutes. The way I talk, probably closer to an hour, so I try my best not to bore you guys and keep it interesting. But we're primarily going to move around the garden, and we've got 12 wonderful teacups here with ingredients. Pay close attention to the plants and flowers inside, because those kind of make up the ingredients that go into the blends that we're going to discuss. We're also going to discuss a little bit about Twining's history, a little bit about the tea making process, and then I'm going to share as much kind of fun information as I possibly can about tea and about the things that go into our tea. If you have any questions, I want it to be a very interactive tour, so if you have any questions throughout, please just raise your hand and ask me them. It makes it more fun for me. I don't want to just be talking at you for 60 minutes. I want some interaction if that's possible. Those of you who are on this side, I promise it's not extremely interesting, but this little picture on the right hand side, that is the Royal Warrant. So Twinings were granted the Royal Warrant by Queen Victoria in 1837, and essentially what that means, apart from having this beautiful crest on each of the boxes, it means that Twinings are the tea supplier for the whole of the royal household. And we're kind of proud to say that they've been the royal tea supplier for every successive monarch since Queen Victoria way back then. The warrant is renewed every 5 years, so it's not something they got in 1837 and just kind of rested on the laurels. They have to maintain that kind of high quality and high standard, and every 5 years it's renewed. But yeah, what I was saying, a lot of the members of the royal family actually have teas, or every royal family member actually has teas specifically made for them. They have their own blends, it's just a lot of them aren't actually made public. A few of them are, so some of you might have seen or have tried the Prince of Wales tea. So that's an interesting one for us because we don't actually sell it back in the UK. That Prince of Wales tea was made in about the 1920s for the then Prince of Wales. The now Prince of Wales doesn't have that Prince of Wales tea, so we can't sell it in the UK because it's not the Prince of Wales that we know today, but that's why it's sold. Now it is the English breakfast teacup. It's not an English breakfast plant, so to speak. Does anyone know what the plant is for without looking at that? Yeah, indeed, we have a winner. It is. It's called Camellia sinensis, and primarily the Camellia sinensis is the tea plant. All of your true teas, and I'll explain why I use the word true a little bit further down the line, come from this one plant. So black tea, white tea, oolong tea, green tea, they all come from exactly the same plant. And the reason that we get different types of tea segments and have totally different tastes and totally different colours in your teacup, etc., is actually due to the processing that the tea leaves undergo. The plant itself can grow kind of as tall as the building, really. Obviously this one isn't as that tall. And it's because we keep them at that height in tea estates around the world, just to make it easier for the tea pickers to pick the top 2 leaves and the unopened bud from the plant. And the reason that they do that, the premium quality tea is going to come from those leaves. If you pick them from lower down, the quality of the tea leaf isn't going to be as good, and they're going to be a lot more bitter, so to speak. So you're not going to get that same high quality taste. So that's why we pick the top 2 leaves and the unopened bud. The plant itself can live up to 50 years, and they regrow, or the leaves regrow every 5 to 7 days, which is very fascinating in that the same tea plant can be used time and time again. So, first herbal blend, guys, and like I said, I'm going to get straight on to why I didn't describe herbal blends as a true tea, and it's quite simply, really easy description, it's because they don't actually come from the Camellia sinensis plant. So anything that doesn't come from the Camellia sinensis plant, we don't classify as a true tea, and the reason being, they're basically just an infusion of different herbs, different spices, different flowers, and different plants. I often get asked, especially on these tours, are herbal teas kind of seen, or herbal blends seen as a little bit inferior to kind of standard teas because they don't come from that Camellia sinensis plant? And I definitely think the answer is not at all. Some of my favourite teas are herbal blends, and I think a lot of ingredients that we include in our herbal blends would not go well at all with teas from the Camellia sinensis plant. So just definitely bear that in mind as we discuss some of the ingredients that are in these specific blends. Now this one that we have here today is, or the first one is buttermint. The 2 primary ingredients, the small leaf plant at the back there is peppermint, and the one at the front is our vanilla. So 2 ingredients, peppermint and vanilla. It is absolutely delicious, guys, and I wish I didn't say that because we all talk it up on the tour and we've actually sold out of it inside the shop. Next plant, guys, that we have is chamomile, honey and vanilla. As the name suggests, the base of it is chamomile, and then it has the addition of the honey and vanilla on top of that. Has anyone had chamomile tea or is a fan of chamomile? Yeah? Yeah, how would, if you are a fan, how would you describe it? In terms of taste? Okay, so that's a good point, which I'm going to get onto. Soft, yeah. The best way I describe it is very earthy, I think. Almost grass-like in terms of taste, but it has a very delicate taste, definitely. As we just alluded to, it's very good to kind of, not necessarily you're not going to drink it and fall asleep, but it puts you in that mood, exactly, to relax. So I definitely drink this one before bed if you want to kind of, relax, get into the mood, to settle down and go to sleep. So it's definitely a kind of a more evening drink. What I guess I bring up the definition of chamomile for is because I think a lot of people, like you said, either love it or they hate it. There's no in between with chamomile, I don't think. But I think the addition of honey and vanilla really makes it a lot more palatable and a lot more drinkable for a lot more people. So if you aren't a fan, try it with honey and vanilla. And again, it's not, it's just flavoured with honey and vanilla, so there's no extra sugar. So rooibos is a plant that originates, it's native to southern Africa. It grows in the Cederberg Mountains. It's kind of a very remote region that we can pick the plant from. Basically, it's a plant that is slightly sweet in taste, and because of that, I don't know how you drink it, but we recommend, just by itself, we recommend, especially with this flavour, a little bit of milk. And it sounds bizarre to say that with herbal teas, because milk kind of doesn't really sit well with any of the herbal blends, but with this one, if you add just a tad, just a little drop, it brings out the sweetness, the natural sweetness from the rooibos plant. So if you've never tried it, or if you tried it with and you don't like it without anything else in, then try it with a little bit of milk. I know when I tried it both ways, and I definitely preferred it with the milk. Now the two ingredients that we have, orange and cinnamon spikes. So the plant inside the teacup is the orange, and you can see the blossom there, like I was just saying. They blossomed up very nicely for us this morning. The past couple of days they haven't been as beautiful as they are today. And the two plants behind the teacup are actually the cinnamon trees. Now, I normally leave it till right at the end, but I think it's a good point to bring it up here. These trees will actually grow to the same size as the big tree in the middle of the garden, which we've started at. That actually is a cinnamon tree. And all you would do is to carve the bark off the tree to get your cinnamon, which I thought was fascinating. So don't go into the garden later on and start carving cinnamon, but that's essentially what they would grow to become if we left them in the garden all year round. The giant tree in the middle of the garden right at the back. So for black and herbal, they go in the middle and they write 4 minutes on, but anywhere between 3 to 5. With green tea, which we're about to get onto, we would recommend a little bit less, so 2 to 3 minutes. And when we say brewing time, let's go with the middle ground and say 4 minutes. When we say 4 minutes, we mean 4 minutes of leaving the tea as it is. No dunking it, no moving it from side to side, spinning it around in the cup, no squashing against the side. And we say that because colour comes a lot quicker than flavour does. So I know I've been guilty of it in the past. As soon as you, especially a black tea, as soon as you put water in it, it instantly changes to that coppery brown colour that we're more familiar with. The colour doesn't really change too much after that. But in that kind of preceding 2 to 3 minutes, that's when you're actually going to get the flavour into the teacup. So definitely try your best to leave your tea in for the recommended amount of brewing. If we classify them, or if we compare them to wines, you would see black tea as kind of full body and full kind of deep colour, just like you would with a red wine. Your green tea would be your white wine, so lighter in colour and then lighter bodied as well. Green tea's taste is very earthy, I find. Can anyone attest to that? Yeah, it's very earthy. By itself, it's absolutely delicious if you want to have that type of taste. But I feel like the addition of the pomegranate raspberry strawberry really complements that taste very well. And if you're not a big fan of the earthy teas, then the kind of sweetness that you get from those fruits really brings out a good flavour in there. Now, I'm going to stand on the other side of it. Sorry, I'm following you around today. I don't like to be in the centre. Who am I kidding, of course. So, green tea, jasmine, guys. Anyone who is a big plant lover, then the whole teapot is a jasmine flower, and then the similar kind of trees that go all the way around the teacup are also jasmine plants as well. I have the privilege to run and just kind of share that with the kind of consecutive to it. How many of you use tea for anything other than drinking? Right, I'm going to have a show of hands, and then I'm going to ask each of you. What do we? I've had that every single tour. So sunburn, fascinating. Yeah, so tea for sunburn. So very good. So medicinal, a lot of people, like I said, peppermint for indigestion, a lot of different things for medicinal purposes. So very good one. Anyone else? Again, an absolutely huge one that I was hoping at least one of you would say. So cooking with tea or cooking with tea leaves is a very big thing, especially these days when you can get recipes all over the internet and kind of people are trying so many new things. Earl Grey and Lady Grey are very common in kind of ice cream and like I guess cookies for you but biscuits for us. So they're very common in that. Actually the butter that we have served with one of your scones today is actually Earl Grey butter. And again, a lot of teas can be used as kind of base for kind of smoothies and all those different types of stuff. But the main reason I bring it up is just to demonstrate that tea is so much more than just the thing that we drink. You can utilize it for so many things. So if you take anything away or if you're inspired, then please give them a try and come back and let us know what you've done with it.
So we had our tea tour over there. And now we've got our scones and tea. Yeah. I should have opened it first. There we go. So there's a savory and a sweet. And clotted cream and strawberry jam, jelly, preserve, something.
And then Earl Grey butter.
Yeah, Earl Grey butter, so. And my tea is steeping. And then we got little sample tea packets too. So yay! It was fun. I recommend, especially for 15 bucks. You don't get a lot at Disney, so.
Alright, we just went to, what is it, Northern Bloom? And we got pretty much everything on the menu.
Yeah.
Beef tenderloins, the trifle, and steer chops, and then the maple shake.
Corn shake, yeah. Non-alcoholic version. It's still the corn.
So we're gonna dig in and try it.
Yeah, I haven't won a lot. Yeah, I'll set it for
Very different than the last time we were through here.
I think I'm gonna have to do some weird stuff. I'm trying to get chocolate in the back book. Yeah, that's why I would use this morning. Get all the stuff out. They have the rough stuff on the bottom. Like, you get used to it. The first day, when you go too hard, you have watermelon. You have to get there.
Directly cross.
Maybe like the following semester.
Sounded like you, Rach. I don't care as long as it's food.
Normally, not really today.
Well. Woo! Ah, wind! Gonna go. I like her outfit.
Be a test for our wind love.
I like her outfit.
Alright, bus ride, nap,
MK. Till 1 a.m.
Yeah, alright, should we make bets on who makes it?
I have a feeling Rach should probably not make it.
No, probably not. I'm not sure I'm gonna make it. Let's try, but depends on how good of a nap I get.
Starbucks.
What?
Camera?
Oh, I have it. I'm filming.
Okay.
Do you want it?
No.
Okay. So we got our Starbucks and we actually remembered to do the names this time. Bess got Belle, which is just perfect because she's all like belled out today. Rachel's Anna.
Which we had to talk with people that did our tour about the new beauties.
Ah, yes. Oh, and I'm Rose for Briar Rose because I love Sleeping Beauty.
You're a sucker.
I'm a sucker. And Aurora, I figured, is, you know, asking them to get that name right for Starbucks is, yeah, good luck. So, this is true. So I just went with Rose. But anywho, yeah, like Beth was saying, we had a nice little discussion with our tea caddy guy about the new Beauty and the Beast. And we are probably in the very tiny minority that wasn't like thrilled and awed and thought it was the best movie they've ever seen and yada yada yada. I mean, it's not bad. We liked it. It's not that we didn't like it. It's just it didn't quite live up to our
Expectations.
yeah, which were extremely high. It's his best favorite movie probably of all time. So the animated version. So. Kind of hard to live up to that.
And I just couldn't.
Ears though. Ears.
And I just could not get down with Emma singing.
Yeah. Love, love, love Emma Watson, but she had the look for Belle, but it's not the voice. Aww. Do you want to see Daisy? No? Okay. And EPCOT is super pretty today. And also pretty busy. Everybody's rolling in. Look at those colors though.
People after we came through with it being like dead.
Yeah.
Spaceship Earth dropped to 55, but that's still...
Ooh, that's still too long. I have been spoiled. I don't wait for more than like 15 minutes for Spaceship Earth. Okay. And out we go.